the subjects that I want to talk about are people who are on my street, that I grew up around. Like, those are the people who move me. They are the people who I understand. Hello, I'm James Thigpen Jr. What I do is I'm a visual artist. I am a graphic designer by trade, fine artist. You know, I create collages, photo manipulation, and I compile it to make one photo. So each piece that I create it might have 20 pieces included, but all of them are molded together to tell one story. I grew up on the north side of Flint, 90s era. We had our flaws, but for the most part, Flint was an amazing place to grow up. My childhood was amazing, and I think a lot of that influences my work to this day. My mother actually was really a big inspiration for me in being an artist, because she would encourage me. She seen a gift in me very early on. She dedicated one of the rooms to us just painting. Like, it was like one of the side rooms in the basement that my sister and I would just be able to paint with just liberty. No penalty, no punishment. It was just, we could just paint on the walls. Because of that, you know, I just always had this sense of creativity, this sense of like freedom that I think most kids don't have. And that's how I knew I wanted to be an artist. I went to my college first, and then I later went to U of M, Flint. I learned a lot of my foundation. I learned, like, all of my professors were actually working artists. You know, whether it be 3D sculpture, whether it be drawing, whether it be painting, whether it be 2D, these people taught me how to think prior to going to anything technical. Whenever I create, I typically start here, you know? People artists forget to go to the handy dandy notebook, that you have to write down your ideas, your concepts, your beliefs. Everything should go in writing first. Before you ever touch anything technical, you should have everything solved. I create sketches, whether they be stick figures, whether they be actual pieces. But for my form of collage, it always ends up here, and it has to be defined here and then here. What inspires me is conversation. It is atmosphere. Atmosphere is a big thing. Like, I think that sometimes we don't understand a clean atmosphere helps us to work properly. Like, I have to make sure that my atmosphere is clean. It has energy, but it's clean. My space it smells proper, it looks proper. You know what I'm saying? If I can't work in that type of room, it won't work. Secondly is, you know, the other thing that inspires me are other artists, you know. My biggest influence is Carol Walker. Her pieces show gender, race, era. They show all the information I need to be effective. I think the fact that she chose to do so much black and white art without really focusing on so much of the atmosphere or where it was at, and still give me enough information to understand the piece is amazing. I want to meet her one day too, hopefully. I want to meet Carol Walker one day, I do. because she's given me so much. One of my fondest memories of DIA is taking my daughter when she was very young, like going into walking. I think some of her first steps might honestly have been in DIA. But just seeing her walk through those hallways and take her first steps, around, legacy was a big thing for me. Just frequently taking her there and allowing her to see the pieces for her to learn and for her to actually see a Warhol or to see a Kehinde Wiley. Like, it just was something that was very important to me. It still is. I still take her. We bonded, I think, there. How I would describe my art to others is simplification, which I feel like is sophistication. I think that a lot of times with the pieces I've created, I've solved problems. And in certain pieces that I've studied, they have, I call it fluff. I think that with me, I focus on a subject, and that's the only thing that you really see in my pieces is this is what I'm talking about, and that's all I need you to see. So you see a lot of white space. You see no real distraction, no color right now. Maybe later I might grow to that, but right now I'm really interested in removing everything and focusing on the focal point, focusing on the subject and making sure that they shine brighter than anything. People can teach you a lot more than you think. And I think that's what really drives my work is people, bro. Like, people have a story. I think stories intrigue me. So learning those and trying to recreate those is amazing to me. Sometimes I think that the art world can be like people where I come from can't touch it. They can't see it. They don't believe that they can be on those walls. They don't believe that they can be those subjects, right? Because we see Roman art, we see European art, but the subjects that I want to talk about are people who are on my street, that I grew up around. Like, flat out, like, those are the people who move me. They are the people who I understand that I can speak for.